This is R2D Tech and we're back again with another video today about the OnePlus 7 Pro. OnePlus have done something a little bit different this year. They've actually released two phones. They've released the standard OnePlus 7, which is basically kind of the same as the OnePlus 6T with some performance improvements. But then you've got the OnePlus 7 Pro, which has all the special features, but it has a higher price tag. We're going to focus on the OnePlus 7 Pro today, so stay tuned.
We're rolling?
Yeah.
What am I talking about? When it comes to design, the OnePlus 7 Pro is an absolute beauty. They've basically taken the OnePlus 6T, gotten rid of the notch. There's no bezel either apart from a tiny chin on the bottom, and they've made it fully bezel-less. They've curved the edges like a Galaxy device might do, so it's that bit more futuristic. And they've given you a 90Hz refresh rate display, so it's smoother than ever and almost like an iPad Pro. In terms of colours, there are three main colours. There's Mirror Grey, Nebula Blue and Almond. All of these are new because they used to have Mirror Black, for example, not Mirror Grey. And the Nebula Blue is probably the most exciting of the lot. So, I mean, in terms of colours, they've really hit it out the park on this one. You can choose any of them and you'll probably be satisfied.
So, on the OnePlus 7 Pro, you get three rear cameras. You get one main 48 megapixel camera, you get a 3x telephoto lens, and you get an ultra wide sensor. Pretty impressive setup. It's basically the same as the Samsung S10. And on the front, obviously you get that nice pop-up camera, and it's just pretty much a standard front-facing selfie camera. But there you go, that pop-up camera might worry some people. There are durability concerns. They've actually implemented a pretty cool design where if the phone senses that it's being dropped, the pop-up camera will close automatically so that you don't break it. So the actual pictures that come out of the OnePlus 7 Pro, now the picture quality has been something that OnePlus has struggled with over the past, and they tried to improve it on the OnePlus 7 Pro. However, pictures can look a bit blown out, and it's just not on the same level as the Google Pixel or even the iPhone. If you download the Google Camera app, pictures tend to be a lot better. So that might be something you want to look into.
When it comes to the actual internals of the phone, OnePlus has made an absolute powerhouse. We've got the new Snapdragon 855 processor, which is absolutely rapid. And this is paired with an Adreno 640 GPU, which is the latest of the Adreno series for smartphones. For battery life, there's an impressive 4000 mAh battery, which is kind of the same as what companies like Samsung are offering. You can either get 6GB, 8GB or 12GB of RAM. Obviously, anything around the 12 gigs is kind of unnecessary, but it will ensure that your phone is future-proof when it comes to speed. Also, you can get either 128GB of storage or 256. Now, with cloud storage and everything, the 256 might not be necessary, but if you like downloading things onto your device all the time, it might be something you want to consider. Unfortunately with this phone, just like on the OnePlus 6T, there's no headphone jack, which is a bit of a disappointment, but this isn't really a budget phone anymore, and all the mainstream companies are getting rid of it slowly. The last thing to say on this front is that they've introduced warp charging on this phone, which is 30 watts, so the phone will charge very, very quickly.
Because of that pop-up selfie camera, you get a really nice 6.7-inch bezel-less display apart from a tiny chin on the bottom. But it's probably the best display on the market right now. You've got HDR10+, you've got a 90Hz refresh rate, which it looks amazing, but it's going to have a big hit on battery life. Now, you do have the option to turn it down to 60Hz if you do want more battery life, but 90Hz looks really good. So the display is a fluid AMOLED display, 1440p, which is pretty standard now. You also have an under-display fingerprint reader, which is not the same tech as in the Samsung S10 Plus, but it's just purely optical. Obviously, because it is an AMOLED display, that is going to help with battery life because some of the pixels can be completely off if you have a dark background or you're in dark mode, which is nice. And for the operating system, you have Ocean OS with it currently has Android 9 Pie, but it's going to be one of the first phones to get Android Q10. Obviously, like on all OnePlus phones, you have the notification slider, so you can slide it to turn off notifications. You also get an edge panel like on the Samsung Note series, which allows you to swipe from the side to access more features.
Now that we've covered everything that we wanted to cover about the phone, one last thing to mention is the price. Now, it ranges from £649 to £799 if you're in the UK. Similar prices apply in other countries. Now, although this isn't the budget price point that we might have seen on earlier OnePlus models, this phone is very premium and it's definitely not a cheap device. You're paying for something that's definitely worth the money. Other than that, we just like to thank you for watching, and if you really like the video, you might consider leaving a thumbs up. Otherwise, if you're an absolute legend, you might consider hitting that subscribe button so you can see our future videos.